Yeah.
So, kindly, I'll ask you to start by introducing yourself.
Yes.
Tell us your name
Yeah.
and what you're representing.
Yes. My name is Aroda Konyango, and I'm representing Wabo Majisafi, also the innovator of Safi ATM, and we are all the way from Homa Bay, and we are a startup. Startup in from Homa Bay. Yeah.
Briefly tell us what Wabo Maji is about.
Oh, that's a really good question, because Wabo Majisafi is actually an idea we came up with because at this really hard times of environment and climate. So Wabo Majisafi actually means water table banking. So in a way that we found a way that we can really find a way to increase our water table, like really make our water use clean ideas, clean energy to really create water table. And table banking is use the idea of M-Pesa to really make a product out of that water. So that's why we call it Wabo, but then it's also about water, so it's kind of moving. And so that's also part of our innovation. So M-Safi is actually Majisafi, M-Safi, which is also clean energy, using also to clean the water, yes.
And basically, what provokes you to start this?
The truth is, we live around Lake Victoria, and very many of us, if you know where we come from, we have been living along the lake for a very long time. But due to a lot of activities, let's say agricultural activities, practices, have really contributed to really the pollution of the lake, where people use fertilizers like potassium, nitrates, and then it all goes in the rain when it rains. But above all, there's also been a lot of fishing activities. So what has happened, you see a lot of activities around the lake, including microplastic. So the lake changed, but then the people did not change. So at one point we realized, how are we going to live with this blue algae while we are here? And then that's when we came up with the idea, can we purify this water and make it in a better way where we can produce it from zero to hero, at the same time conserve our environment and keep our environment intact, because that's going to sustain us for a long time. That's how we came up with the idea of cleaning the water, which we thought like if we purify it, make it in a better form, we could drink it. But then the economic part came in. How are we going to sustain it? That's how we came up with the innovation of M-Safi, just to really find a way that to make a business case that, hey, this water can also be a resource that can also uplift the community. So it's also about community engagement, but also about holistically looking at the whole idea. How are we going to sustain? And that's really prompted us. But also even where we come from, during dry season, a young girls drop out of school. So we say like, hey, why are we not finding a way to make this water accessible to everybody, so that we have also equal kind of opportunity for both boys and girls? So that's really prompted us, and I've been living alongside that, but the changes are getting more drastic each and every day.
Let's talk about scaling. How scalable is this, and what would you need to make that kind of scale?
This is absolutely scalable, because what we do here, we deal with the community. If you look at our rugged topography, it's very, and the development, if you look at the infrastructure of water, it will take us a very long time. So our idea is about decentralize, bring the water back to people, bring the water close to people, because then the people can able to look at their water, have it really sourced there, purified there, and then also really used there for economic purposes, for agriculture. So it is really scalable, in which you can really, like we set this thing within 2 days. That's how quick we can set it within an area. So because it's purely technology, and then you use it's actually very scalable. And the problems are like the same problems we face are faced in Kisumu, in Busia, in Tanzania, and any other, even people with borehole. There's still a lot of minerals which are really like nitrates. So we still can soften it and give them really clean drinking water, because 80% of diseases are waterborne related. Yes.
And finally, how is the process? You can briefly tell us about it.
The process is from the start. Normally you go to a place where we look at the water source. Sometimes we look at where there is no water source. Let's say Wajir. You go to the, let's say Wajir area. You look at the school. You see like a school is a huge school with a huge, let's say, roof. Why don't we harness that when it's raining erratically during climate time? Why don't we create that we can make a water banking where we can put like tanks, collect water from the roof, start with that water security. But then we can also use borehole, we can use a river, we can use a lake, we can even use, let's say, pick Nairobi River, which is like quite polluted with heavy metals. So what we do, we first of all pre-filter this water, remove hard things, hard metals, and if it's like really iron and all that, we let them sink in the tank. And then that's what we use like sand purification. And then after that, we do pre-filtration. Then we use active carbon, which removes odor, smell, and color. Then after that, we can use reverse osmosis, or we can use ultrafiltration. And then we use UV lamp, which removes UV lamp, ultraviolet rays. That means you don't need firewood to heat the water again. Or do you need chlorine? Because for me, chlorine is actually a solution looking for a problem. Because what it does inside your body, it can also do outside the body, it can also do inside. And I think that should be a mentality change. So the process is actually pre-filtration, active carbon, you have UV lamp, then you have filtered water, or you add purification, UF, where you can also put reverse osmosis, you have purified water or mineral water. And by that you take our people from zero to hero. Yes.
So how many systems such like that?
Well, we have currently produced 5 because this is locally made, locally manufactured, and also the language, we also have it in our language. But even the idea of the water thing, of course, we think like if we're looking at not just the innovation in itself, we are really eager to manufacture. We don't want our ideas to be manufactured outside there. That's why we're a bit, but if we would get good funding, and some would say we want to fund your deep tech, because Africa needs infrastructure as well as we need software and hardware, but we need hardware that will create that infrastructure that will work with that software. So we need that funding to be able to produce more. But we can produce as much as we can because next year we're planning to roll 50. That's we need a lot of booths because this is very scalable and it speaks to the community.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.
And all the best.
Thank you so much.